Do you have good friends? Are you a good friend? What does it take to be a good friend? Welcome to Life Anchor. I'm so happy you made it. We're going to discuss a bunch of interesting topics. My name is Carmen Baz, and I'll be your host. Let's get started. So there are many different types of friendships. We can agree on that, right? But what makes a good friend? What is a friend and what makes somebody a bad friend? There are so many categories and it can get kind of confusing. It all depends on you and your perspective and your life experience. So let's go basic, okay? A bad friend is someone who pretends to be a good friend. It's as simple as that. And a good friend is actually a good friend. Now, what signs can I look for to know if somebody's actually a good friend or actually a bad friend? It all starts with you. Yes, exactly. So depending on what type of person you are, you will have these alarms going off telling you what type of person is good or bad in your surroundings. So a close friend is somebody who's honest, somebody you're comfortable with, somebody who has good intentions, somebody who lets you in, somebody who's there for you. But you need to be that good friend too. You need to create that safe space for other people to want to be your friend. Does that make sense? You cannot be and expect others to be good friends if you are not a good friend first. You need to be that friend first. You also need to love yourself first before you're capable of loving others. If you tell me, but I love others so much, but you're incapable of loving yourself equally, it does not work that way. The number one criteria I look for in a person is openness. How open are they to allowing me to go into their life? So somebody who is ready to receive me in their life is usually open, genuine, is honest, is not hiding behind false pretexts. It's very easy for me to make friends. Why? Because I really pride myself in knowing that I'm a good person and I'm a good friend first. I'm open with people. I'm friendly. I'm kind. I'm genuine. I really go out of my way to assess the situation around me, to be really self-aware and aware of my surroundings, because that helps me truly determine what type of person I want to be first. I am important first, and then they come second. So what helps me is that I'm not shy. I'm open, I'm an extrovert. I am very, very comfortable in my skin and my thoughts. I've really taken the time to grow and to mature. I've understood what I needed to present myself as in order for the world to accept me the way I want to be accepted. I am not changing the person I am. I'm just fully embracing the person that I truly am inside. I have friends of all types, so it also helps me assess their needs as well as my needs. So the type of friends I have are close friends. I have activity friends, people I just do certain activities with. I have friends by association, so friends of friends that I end up liking or end up liking me, and then we kind of hang out when we're in a group setting and so forth. Also, I have friends that are simply acquaintances, so I can't consider them as close friends, but they're also not strangers. I do care about them and they care about me, but also that's the category that I have the most people I know in, acquaintances. And also I have just simple once in a blue moon friends, maybe people that I used to be really close to that have moved away or are just really far, or we just don't talk as much, but when we do talk, we're super close. And then when we don't, well, life happens. So I'm gonna go down the list and then move up gradually, okay? Once in a blue moon friends, there are people who I really care about, but I don't have that necessity to reach out to them all the time unless it's a special occasion or if they pop into my head, or let's say I'm visiting a city where they live in, then I'm gonna reach out to them to see them. I'm very comfortable having a coffee once a year with them or a lunch. But when we do sit down and connect, we really truly connect. We have a lot to talk about. We love it. We sometimes reminisce about things we lived in the past, or we talk about activities we wish we could do in the future, but it kind of ends there. We don't really make plans to see each other more often, more frequently, and I'm perfectly fine with those type of friendships. It's just that, life happens, like I said, so we gotta adapt. Acquaintances, very, very popular kind of title. An acquaintance is someone that you don't necessarily share everything with, and they don't necessarily share everything with you. You either work with them, they're your classmates, they're your neighbors, they are your grocery store owners or employees. There's somebody that you've had conversations with here and there, but they're not somebody who you will reach out to in time of need. Unless, like, for example, you have an acquaintance that is, I don't know, works in a garage, and then your car breaks down and you're like, oh, I can call him, or he works in a garage, he might be able to help me out. But like, that's pretty much it. Like, they're people you associate with, you network with, a friend of a friend of a friend, a cousin of a friend. Like, acquaintances are not people that are super, super close-knit. They are friends by association. So you just connect on certain aspects when you're with other people you're really cool with, you could have nice conversations with, you do share a lot deeper subjects, you can have really interesting conversations with them, but you only see them when they're with certain people that you know or other friends that you know. You don't go out of your way to hang out one-on-one with them. So yeah, they're friends because of your association. It's simple. Like, I can't explain it better than that. Activity friends. Activity friends are people that you do certain activities with. For example, there are people that you like to go shopping with, but that's all you like to do. And there's people that you maybe go do your nails with, or people that you play a sports with, but that's all you do. You're kind of not able to hang out with this person on a more intimate level. All you end up doing is activities. You probably have close friends that you could do those activities with, but they're better at it, or they're more active at or proactive at doing those types of activities. Somebody that you go out and have a drink with, or somebody that likes to go out to eat and you like to go eat, so you do it together. Close friends. Close friends are people that you are comfortable inviting to your house. You go to their house. You are capable of calling them or texting them when you need somebody to talk to. You share intimate parts of your life with them. You're very open with them. And those types of friends are usually, they could be many and they could be few of place they take in your heart, in your mind. I do have a lot of close friends, but the thing is, every close friend I have is different. I have a close friend that I enjoy doing really fun activities with, but I can't really rely on them when I'm going through a hard time, because they can't deal with high stress situations. I have close friends that I like to do certain spiritual activities with. We get along. It's really just people that you could do certain things with, that are on a deeper level, emotionally, mentally, intellectually. There are people that you can talk to for hours, or you don't necessarily need to talk to. You could just be sitting together for hours and be perfectly content with one another. But those close friends are people who truly know who I am. They know my inner person. They don't judge me by my mistakes. They call me out on anything. They keep me accountable. They support me. They are there when I decide to change or decide to do something in my life. They try to understand, and I'm the same type of friend with them too. I'm there trying to support them, understand them, encourage them. I'm constantly checking up on them, and they're checking up on me. Now the thing is I don't believe in best friends. So for me, somebody I consider a close friend is somebody that I could really, really share my heartfelt feelings with, my trains of thought, things I've researched, things I've studied. I could talk about any aspect of my life. But I don't expect one friend to fulfill many roles. So I used to, when I was younger, believe in the whole concept of a best friend or one or two best friends. And I realized that that doesn't work as an adult, because it's a lot for one person to handle. It's a lot for one person to take care of. You're asking one person to take on so many roles when we actually say it takes a whole village to raise someone. Like, it doesn't make sense. We're all different. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. So balance. I used to have somebody I called my best friend, but we changed. We grew to have different principles and values. Even though I really love them, I still do very much. Our lives were no longer compatible. I could not call them my best friend anymore because I was going one way and they were going the complete opposite way. And when I decided to make a really big life change, something huge happened in my life and I decided to change, they were not supportive. They mocked me, they belittled my feelings, and they made it seem like it wasn't as important. And that really hurt me, and I realized that they were my best friend at a certain time, but now they're no longer my best friend, and that's okay. I do want to put a little parentheses right here. So I did say that I don't believe in best friends. I do have one best friend though, but it is not a physical best friend. I'm a very spiritual person, and I take my spirituality very seriously. I have a very close relationship with my Father in heaven. So God for me is my best friend because he is capable of embodying absolutely everything in my life. He is there to protect me, to take care of me, to provide for me. He loves me the way I am. He teaches me, he molds me, he talks to me through his written word. He's everything for me. So he automatically falls in the category of a best friend, but he's also my God and my Father. So what is a bad friend? I'm not saying my best friend became a bad friend. We weren't compatible as friends anymore. Who's unreliable, who says one thing and does the opposite. Someone who's rude, who belittles you, who just makes you feel unworthy or like you're not enough. That's a bad friend. Somebody who's always complaining, who's always unhappy. Like, how do you want to be friends with someone who's like that? Like, they need to work on themselves. That's not a good friend to have. Somebody who has an unhealthy lifestyle. Like, we could be sick, but we could be doing everything possible to live our healthiest life, right? Like, it balances out. To live healthy is also to be able to be balanced mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. That's what I mean by health. Somebody who has bad habits. Like, somebody's always drinking and they're like, no, I'm not an alcoholic, or taking drugs and they're like, it's fine, it's just how I cope and that's how I live. Somebody who needs to go see a therapist but they refuse to go see a therapist. Somebody who's abusive with everybody around them, even themselves. That's not a good friend. I'm sorry, as much as you want to help them, that doesn't qualify them as being a good friend. It just qualifies you as being the helper. Like, are you the good friend and they're not the good friend? A good friendship is a two-way thing. Somebody who's really unstable spiritually and mentally, depends on how much you could tolerate. Obviously, I'm lacking somewhere. I'm hoping that my friends can help me with that, but I'm not relying on them. How about somebody who's an extremist? Such a loner or over socializer. That's also not very healthy. They have to have a balanced way of living. You have to be able to hang out with them sometimes and not always on a one-on-one basis. If they're an introvert and they prefer one-on-one conversations, that's fine. But if they only have one friend, that's a red flag. If you're not able to be completely genuine with the person you call your close friend, they're not your close friend. You have to be able to share exactly what's on your mind, or else they're just maybe an acquaintance, or maybe just a regular friend by association, or somebody you don't really need to be open with. But if you want to call somebody your close friend, you have to be able to open up to them. I don't believe in people who say friends don't judge you. That is not true. That is a lie we've been told. Your friend is supposed to judge you. They're supposed to tell you, this is right, this is wrong. Now, obviously, we don't want them to criticize us every single time. But if I'm going the wrong way, or I'm saying or doing the wrong thing, I would love for my friend to help me right the wrong. If they don't ever judge me, how am I gonna ever improve? I also expect I expect my friends to accept that of me. I'm not there to blindly be cheerleaders. I call them fake friends. But if you're doing something wrong or something that could be hurtful to you, they don't tell you. What's the point of having that amazing cheerleader? You know, the other lie that I think is crazy is when people say your friend is never supposed to hurt your feelings. Hello, we're feeling people. Our feelings will get hurt, usually by the people we love and care the most. If my friend intentionally goes out of their way to hurt my feelings, okay, that's not a good friend. But a good friend sometimes will override your feelings in order to be honest and direct with you. A good friend is loyal. They don't talk badly about you behind your back. If they're gonna talk any bad, it's gonna be to your face, one-on-one, because they want you to improve. A good friend is kind. A good friend is very patient, but it's okay to lose patience from time to time. So it's a balance, right? No one is always 100% amazing all the time. We're all imperfect. We will make mistakes, but good friends tolerate, but also make sure that they love us enough to be able to work with us or to be patient with us, vice versa. Number one thing that determines if somebody is gonna be my friend or not is the... Thanks for listening to part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.